And do you see any hope with Farage? I know it's much more short term than what you're talking about. You're talking about a 20-year plan, but I mean, I was actually at Farage's birthday and he did a speech where I thought, oh, he's actually not coming back. He wants to just go off to America. Do you see any hope if he comes back, either in the Tories or in Reform?
I think he'd be a menace because, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, Reform needs to get Farage back. Well, even Farage couldn't change the nature of what Reform is. It doesn't rebuild that branch movement thing, but there always has been an inherent electoral ceiling in Britain for this sort of blaggit populism. I keep saying we've got to build a movement that's built on an ideological and intellectual foundation and credible people who can represent it. But that's never been Farage. He's always surrounded by this entourage of quarter-wit ex-MEPs. And there's a limit to his own personal appeal because he's stood for Parliament God knows how many times, and if he was going to get in, he'd be in by now. He cannot break through the electoral ceiling that this blaggit populism has. You've got to go beyond that. Goodwin talks about this inherent 20% of the vote that's up for grabs. That doesn't necessarily translate into seats, and it doesn't project you to power. And if you can't break through that ceiling to get to the 25-30% you need to actually break through into the mainstream, you're a bed blocker. You're a waste of time. So firstly, you've got to build the movement. You've got to develop the ideology, develop the policies and the people to acquire credibility and prestige and grow confidence. Because, you can cobble together a crapola manifesto that will superficially pass muster with most people on your side. But if you want opinion formers to buy in and say, well, I don't like them, I wouldn't vote for them, but you've got to take your hat off to them. They've done their homework, they know what they're talking about, and this is what they want to do. But that was the credibility barrier that UKIP never could break through. And I think it's also the credibility barrier that Vote Leave faced as well. Because, we did win the referendum, but, 52-48, the tiniest slither. It was almost an accidental victory. And that was because, we had a rubbish slogan, no particular vision for what post-Brexit Britain was going to look like. We didn't have any sort of experts who had been MEPs who've invested their time properly and learned the system and said, oh, this is the bundle of regulation we want to get rid of tomorrow. As soon as Boris Johnson gets in, on his desk is going to be a to-do list authored by Vote Leave. They never bothered to do that. They never bothered to do the thinking. And so everyone's surprised that Brexit has turned into a damp squib. It's because Boris Johnson never knew what to do with it. So they go to the policy cupboard. It's completely bare. We've got to do something because we said we were going to change the country. How about levelling up? And what else? Net zero. Yeah, green jobs. Yeah, that sounds good. So these are facile, superficial, intellectual pygmies. And this has always been my problem with the right, is that they get so easily get co-opted by fly-by-night shite hawks who have absolutely no idea what to do with power when they get it. And that's because they don't bother to develop the ideas. And I just want, for once, to be able to say, yeah, actually, this is going somewhere. This has got the credibility. This will get the Telegraph columnists going, actually, these people, they're switched on. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing where the Tory party doesn't. Just for once, it would be nice if we knew what we were talking about. But that's the problem. I just don't see the right getting its act together.